I was wondering if you could respond to some of these following specifics on how they do not restrict voter access, such as the banning of mobile voting centers, like the ones used in Fulton County. You said the codifying of the drop boxes that had not been in law before, but effectively reduces the number of them compared to what was used in the November election in Fulton County. Reducing the amount of time for voters to request absentee ballots, and banning the automatic mailing of applications for absentee ballots to voters.
Well, I would tell you that I think all of these things, and there's plenty of legislators that can talk to you individually after the press conference, but I know myself and a lot of them got a lot of these questions. First of all, on the drop boxes, there's a very simple formula that is now going to be used on the drop boxes for all counties. There are counties, you know, people are saying we are taking something away with drop boxes. There's counties that did not have a drop box last election. Now, every county, was it 49? 49. Now, every county will be required to have one drop box. And keep in mind, if you are a voter, you have plenty of time to mail your ballot. But if you feel uncomfortable like that, you can do like I did, because I was under COVID quarantine and didn't want to go in the polling location. I went and dropped mine into a drop box. You can still do that. It's in a secure location now. Even the days leading up to when it's very close to the election, you can take your ballot and hand it off to the local elections official if you don't feel like you're going to have time to mail it. In regards to the mailing days, the U.S. Post Office recommends 14 to 15 days cutoff before the election. This bill has it at 11. You know who asked us to do that? Who asked the members of the General Assembly to do that? The Association of County Commissioners of Georgia. They represent county governments that, per the Constitution, run the election. Because you had so many ballots that weren't mailed on time, they weren't received on time, they weren't mailed on time, they come in after the election and they don't count. You still have weeks and weeks to request your absentee ballot. But now we are cutting that deadline a little bit shorter at 11 days prior to the election to make sure the voter has time to get their ballot back where it will be counted. There are reasonable mechanical fixes that are in this bill. That this General Assembly, you know, a lot of people talk about how quickly this was done. The Speaker of the House set up in the committee to work on this issue before the end of the year. The legislative session right here in this building started the second Monday in January, and the bill was just completed a little over a week or so ago. So this has been going on for months, this negotiation between the House and the Senate, and then our office to get to this final version.
You just mentioned the timeline for how this bill was developed and passed. I know it was the last few months, but is the timing of this based on your belief that there was some fraud in recent elections in Georgia?
Well, certainly everybody wants to bake in to the people of our state and everyone around the country that that's what's going on here. And, you know, I'll let the legislators speak for themselves, but I know myself, our team, a lot of the legislators we were working on, and listen, I realize people have all kinds of difference of opinions and beliefs about the 2020 election. But make no mistake, there were issues that happened on the election, like they do in every election. This year, obviously, there was more of a spotlight than ever, and I think one of the reasons was the pandemic, and it changed a lot of things. We had a brand new system in Georgia. We had things like drop boxes that we've never used, at least in recent memory. Therefore, there were mechanical issues that needed to be fixed. There were reasons to try to figure out a better way, a more accessible way, and a more secure way for us to hold elections. And there is nothing wrong with that. We shouldn't apologize for wanting to make it easy to vote and hard to cheat. Now, if we were making it less easy to vote and harder to cheat, then maybe there's an argument for boycotts and protests and moving all-star games. But that is not what happened. What happened was Georgia is going to have secure, very accessible, and fair elections in the future in this state.